Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to another edition of Note of Facts. I'm proud and able tonight to have Dr. Clermont back. He's the team leader. He don't know it yet, but he is. So this is gonna be, well, it could be a nasty show, but it won't be, because I'm so much of a nice guy. All right. The way things are going, the selectmen keep making mistakes about everything. It would be a good thing if some of them selectmen tell the truth, and the other don't care, and the other selectmen don't care about the residents that present everything as a dilemma. The ones who don't care, doing nothing. Please resign. There are a few that care for men. One lady, Mrs. Laws. When it comes to money, they all have the handout. The finance committee just don't care. Just hand out everything. The school department, that's all they give it to. The police deserve all the money right now. How can we vote for one when two is for the school department? The four men who were good are Mr. Kane, Mr. LeBeau, Mr. Samia. Got to give him a chance. The only good lady in it is Mrs. Laws. Too much is given away whenever. Why would we want Don O'Connor and the town manager? Residents work hard. Mo DiPaolo is only out to be a big shot. So if you're smart, he thinks people respect him. The answer is no. The other men know what they don't know what they're talking about. Dr. Clermont.
Well, it's awfully nice to be with you here, Bob. It's close to Thanksgiving now, so I thought that in addition to some of the barbs that Bob will present, I should have something that is a little more for the season, you know? So I'm going to just talk very briefly on hugs, H-U-G-S, hugs. Hugs have been around for centuries, and they do serve a very, very useful purpose. People have said hugs are the universal medicine. Well, maybe they are, maybe they aren't. And do you know that even in the Bible it's mentioned? Back in Matthew 10, it's mentioned Jesus was a hugger. Yes, he was. And look at some of the people who are out there. For example, you may never haven't even heard of Amma, A-M-M-A, Amma. She's an Indian spiritualist. She gives seminars throughout the world. She always offers a hug to everybody who comes. And they stagger, they come up. They'll wait for hours in line just to get a hug. So there are some medical benefits to a hug, but we'll tell you about those after Bob has a chance to talk a little bit more about our wonderful selectmen.
Right. Before things get hot and heavy, I want to wish everybody a happy Thanksgiving, good health, and I hope everybody enjoys their meal and everything else. As far as being a turkey, I've been called a turkey long enough, so somebody else can wear that down. Let's not forget the water problem. It was told 3 years ago what happened. The sewer and water department had their hands full. Shrewsbury Light that does a great job when the power is out. They restore it right away. One man, two men, and one woman. We try to what might happen to the water system. They try to explain what was wrong. Mr. DiPaolo is a legend in his own mind. We have had enough of him and his friends. Stealing money is bad enough, then lie about it. The town manager only likes to hang around with Donna O'Connor. I hope she doesn't go. I hope they don't have any more meetings in boats. I don't trust a boat. And I don't trust her either. She poisons the well, so get lost for good. Schools with Sawyer, the town would be in good standing. He he begs for money and his assistant. Whatever he does not deserve 10 cents. Take money out of the special fund whenever happens to be bad. Believe me, there are more people moving out of Shrewsbury than moving in, and that's a fact.
Sounds good. Let me tell you a little bit more about the hugs. We have sort of a black and white type of thing here, you know, where, as I said, Bob tells it like it is, and I'm trying to just, because of the holidays, make it a little easier.
He's the preacher.
I'm the preacher, yes. How do you get the most from a hug? What do you have to do? First, you got to make good eye contact. Eye contact is very important. In some religions and all, they feel that a smile and eye contact is more important than touch or a hug.
Right.
For example, even Mother Teresa, always smiling, always smiling. That's why people loved her. So eye contact. Then you have to have the right body language. You have to then open your arms. Open your arms. Take a deep breath. Relax, relax. Lean in. Not like a teepee, you know? Not just the head and neck up here and the legs way out here. Lean in. So, what else? Be genuine with it. Hold it for at least 20 seconds. Now, that may seem very quick. 20 seconds is a long time. You need that 20-second hug to get the oxytocin, that hormone that makes you feel good. That has to get mobilized, and it has to be at least 20 seconds. And then part slowly. So, I'll go into more of those medical details about a hug, all the values of it, after Bob has a chance. Blow off a little more steam.
Okay. On the other hand, being on cable concerns only what they want, the selectmen. They should be concerned about current problems. Every time they discuss anything, we have a hateful bunch of jerks on some of these committees who don't care about the money. There's more people drain the money and raise the taxes. Moving out of town, the people are moving in. Everyone, the money should be on the forefront. I talk to, have more info in the forefront every day why they are moving out. That's the truth too. There's more people moving in. They're getting used to the school system than getting in fights with the school system, and they're moving out so that they haven't even undone their boxes of the furniture and moving back out again. And I bear witness to that. Everyone, then, money should be from the forefront. I talk to many people, have more info every day. Why they moving out? Everyone complains about taxes, water, the school, and that's the start of it. Don't let anyone at town hall tell you any different. This town was nice years ago, but now it shows the true leadership. We have all experts at the town hall, experts to do nothing about different matters. Matters that concern residents in town are not being discussed, but hearing from other people. Honestly, it's a far cry in this town. Also, appointing unless people to different boards and committees who know nothing about nothing but kissing one's backside to get a position on a committee or a board. So they act like a big shot. Go ahead, Doc.
That sounds good. I love it. I love it. And that's another point for term limits. Remember, all politics is local. That's what they say. Term limits locally as well as nationally. But at any rate, getting back to the hugs, what else does it do with your body? Well, first of all, just the touch. The fact that you're touching. There's these little, what they call Pacinian corpuscles, the little touch sensory fibers that are in our bodies. That stimulates the vagus nerve. Vagus nerve decreases the heart rate. makes you just feel a lot better. Your blood pressure goes down a little bit. There's a decrease in cortisol, that stress hormone. You release endorphins. The endorphins actually help you decrease that perception of pain. You also produce an empathy. That is a feeling for the person that you're hugging. That's about half of the things. We'll discuss the other half in a few minutes. Let's go on there, Bob.
Okay. Mr. Samuel just started, so he'll learn the good things about being a selectman. He has the good head in his shoulders. Mr. LeBeau and Mr. Kane are very good selectmen. They know what's going on. We have 5 selectmen. 3 of them should be not in that group. Selectman chairman position because the other selectmen are very sure of what they're going to say. I may be wrong because they know common sense. The finance committee and school committee have no sense at all because too much money is given away. All the details should be brought out, but they don't care. Either spend our money, residents and businesses who struggle to pay bills and taxes. Again, no one cares. The town manager doesn't care either. He wants to talk to Donna O'Connor. What a mistake that is. What does the committees talk about without breaking the open meeting law? Well, what's being accomplished is nothing, absolutely nothing.
Okay, let me go on with some of the other things, the features about the hug. It also produces a little bit of the hormone dopamine. Dopamine is called the pleasure hormone. Makes you just feel a little better, not only about the person you're hugging, but yourself. It also has some serotonin. Serotonin is called the love hormone. That also makes you feel a little better. Not that you love the person you're hugging, you don't have to. It's just that feeling that you get. You get a feeling that you're secure, you're more relaxed. Okay, let's go on, Bob.
The water problem could have been resolved by now, but one person is holding the engine up. Some people should mind their business. Why? Because they want people to get upside down. Why? What a way to run a town. The 3 people that were on the committee, were on cable, knew what they were talking about. This is the August 22nd Selectmen's Meeting show. If you want to get a copy of it, you'll know exactly what I mean. I know I had right there said some sort of arithmetic would be used. Anybody knows about what, if you don't know, yeah, I suppose by now DePaulo is saying to anybody, anything is okay, week by week. Yeah, sure. The water, severe water. Water's poison as far as I'm concerned. Commission and on the other boards. One of these men have more in their head than all the rest of the dopey selectmen that I mentioned. They all have the other boards in matter like this show leadership. Leading a town is not a dislike, but it's a hard job, and he has a lot on his shoulders. The town manager has a good head. I know the town manager has a lot of stuff on his shoulders. I know he'd like to get rid of it. I know the town manager, good luck. Stay hanging around with him and Mrs. Lass. Go ahead.
So, with respect to the water, we had a show on water with Bob one time, and the bottom line was, in the town of Shrewsbury, we sell a lot of bottled water, and which is the reason why people buy the bottled water, because the water system has these problems with impurities in it. Yes, it does follow EPA standards, and that's all they care about, EPA standards, but that doesn't mean that it's great water. So I at the end of that show, told everybody you need to get a water purification system for your own house. And it can be something simple, like just pouring it through the little filter, like the Brita filters.
Yeah.
It can be under the sink, so all of the water that you drink or cook with is purified. Or you could get it for your whole house. That costs more, but you can get the systems now that have everything in it. You know that the water in Shrewsbury is very hard as well. A lot of calcium, a lot of magnesium in it. These filter systems have several different pipes that are in it. Number one, remove the impurities. Number two, remove the chlorine and the fluoride. Number three, soften the water. So what they do then is they'll have this reverse osmosis system in them, which helps to soften the water as well. So I still am a firm believer, and I have it in my house, a water purification system for your own house in Shrewsbury. Because we all have that well water. We don't know 100 years ago what was in that property before they dug that well and what's going to be in there. The selectmen don't know. Nobody knows. But when it does occur, at least if we're monitoring it regularly, at least we can find out how to get rid of it. They're not doing a great job getting rid of it so far, even with the new system that went in last year. So that was the bottom line.
Yeah. I just want to go over something with you, Dr. Whatever.
Sure.
Bromelain, you ever hear of it?
Yeah.
Okay. I use that quite a bit. It breaks down all the fats in the foods.
Yep.
That's why at Chinese restaurants, they give you a little dish of pieces of pineapple
Yep.
to help you digest.
Right. With respect to the Chinese restaurants and all, you know that thing MSG?
Yeah.
Yeah. That is actually a dangerous chemical.
Yeah.
And so it's still in your foods, but
Yeah.
it's not called MSG.
No.
They call it purified protein. You know, nonsense like that. The FDA allows them to do that. They fake out the people who are buying it. So if you see stuff like this, you don't know what it is, just purified protein, whatever. It's MSG. And so not a good thing to be in your food. So that's my take on that.
Right. Have you heard, I haven't heard in months, what's happening to the 1.5 million gallons of water daily and where it's going? They've never brought that up since it first started.
No, never heard about it since
Never heard about it. It's
You
been
can't
going
find
on.
out about it either.
Yeah, they know where it's going. It's going to Lake Quinsigamon.
Most likely.
Yeah, because if the water was that much, you'd have potholes and sinkholes all over the streets.
Oh yeah. And it's just like all of the bottles themselves.
Yeah.
You know, where's all that stuff going? It does break down, yes, it does break down. Most of it goes into the water supplies.
Yeah.
And eventually winds up in the ocean where they have these great big, almost islands of plastic now out in the oceans and all. And then it deteriorates a little bit into little particles, microparticles, that the fish eat.
Yeah.
And then you eat the fish.
Yeah. I know in San Pedro and along that area, the United States government has set up an enormous water purification station. Yep. It goes for at least a couple of miles. Mm-hmm. It sanitizes the seawater, and it's very successful what they're doing. And I read about it by accident in one of the million magazines I get.
Yeah.
And,
that's where I read it too, actually.
Yeah. It works good. It's kind of crazy to put one here from Atlantic Ocean all the way to Shrewsbury, but at one point, I gotta say, Mr. Magato and myself had a chat about water. There's a couple of places they were gonna dig, and one was up to the Wachusett Reservoir to Shrewsbury, and the Boston Water Commission refused them. You can't do that, and the government put their foot down. And there was a few other places they were going to tap into Northborough water.
Right.
They said no way, and none of that ever went through. And I can see where it wouldn't go through, because I don't care where the water's coming from. It's going to mitigate its way back where it's coming from.
Yep.
The water we have here.
Yeah.
But I've asked everybody what happened to the 1.5 million gallons a day that's being lost, and no one seems to know. Well, someone's got to know.
Of course.
That's my way of doing it.
And I think you're right. I think it's in the lake.
Yeah, because I know one thing: the McDonald's that was next to Burger King,
Right.
down as you go over the bridge.
Yep.
That drain pipe in McDonald's, the stuff with the oil and the grease and everything, dumps right into the lake, Lakewood
Right
Sigmund.
into the lake.
Yeah, that's how smart this town is. Ha 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 ha. Ha ha ha. And it's still there. If you want to call me a liar, it's still there. The pipe. Yeah. Give these companies all kinds of leeways, but poison the people. What the hell do you care?
In fact, didn't we just have a show about, this Impossible Burger? That's over at the competition to McDonald's now.
Yeah. I think it's impossible to eat.
It tastes good, but it has these modified material, genetic modified material in it. It has this thing called leg hemoglobin, which is, hemoglobin, that's the thing in your bloodstream that carries oxygen around your body. So they identified that in the little nodules in the roots of plants.
Right.
Plants do it too, because that hemoglobin down in the root will work with the bacteria so that the nutrition that the plant can get from the soil, they're able to do it because of that interaction. And so that's what they put into these things. So I wouldn't eat something like that, even though it tastes good. Even though it may taste good, believe me, I would stay away from it.
Well, that guy on TV, he advertises, oh, it tastes like beef. Yeah, sure it does, yeah. But my interest is, where is 1.5 million gallons of water going? I don't think you have to be a brain to figure that one out. But this town don't want to do nothing. And then I heard on the ballot, they want to put the school and the police station on the same ballot.
The Beale School, you mean? The new school.
Yeah. We got 5 minutes. I think that's disgusting.
It is.
That's disgusting. The police are more important than any school being built. In the daycare center library, that's getting out of hand if anybody likes to go up there. It might as well be a lunch cart.
Well, it's really a shame that we don't have an adequate sized police station.
No,
it is ridiculous, totally ridiculous. That should have been built long ago.
If I'm not mistaken, I could be. I'm not. I think it was brought up when Chief McGinley was chief, 1955, I think. I could be wrong. They were going to build a bigger police station, but then it vanished like the wind. It vanished.
Well, that's when the school started to get the money.
Yeah. Yeah, and I'm still going to people's houses and reading letters that these families have special needs children, and the nasty, filthy letters the Shrewsbury School Department used to send these parents. I mean, these kids got a handicap. What does the school department want to do with these kids? Throw them in the middle of the street, get rid of them? No, I know what they do though. I caught on what they do. You could have 2 classes here of, say this is the 10th grade and this is the 11th grade, of special needs children. Sure, they pass. You know what they do? They don't even teach them. They push them along into the 11th grade. So the 9th grade kid takes over the 10th grade. And what do these poor kids learn? Nothing. They learn absolutely nothing.
They should learn practical skills.
How
do you deal with the finances? How do you go to a bank and follow the bank statement, etc.?
Right.
They should teach them how to cook, Teach them all of the skills that they need to go
Right.
out and be a member of society. They
Right.
don't have to go to college, for
No,
God's
no,
sakes.
no.
You know,
A Stop and Shop's the only one I know that hires
they hire handicap,
and I think that's very, very nice.
and it is nice.
I think
it
it's
is.
very nice. And in back of my mind, I do a lot of thinking. Why can't the kids that are handicapped have a little cooking seminar or a cooking show right in the market itself?
They could.
That'd be nice.
They could.
2 minutes. With the good feeling they'd have, making someone feel good,
Yep.
and making someone take whatever they cook and eat it. That would be the greatest thing in the world.
And you know, after I retired and all, I do a lot of cooking now.
Yeah,
and,
yeah,
you know,
yeah.
So it's not something that you can't learn. What the heck?
Yeah,
You know,
yeah,
at my age, I'm learning all this stuff
Sure,
too.
sure,
you know?
sure.
And the kids, that's what they need.
Yeah.
Practical skills,
They
just
need
like that.
they need something to keep them going and make sure they're getting a good deal out of everything.
And when they accomplish something, they feel good about themselves too.
Right, that's right.
You know, so and that would be good for the town too.
I know.
You know, but yeah, it is a big issue in town,
Yeah.
and it's becoming a bigger issue as
Yep.
time goes on, unfortunately.
Yep.
So, well, let me finish up on the hugs.
Go ahead,
We got to finish up on the hugs. There's still a couple more things.
Go ahead,
You know, as far as the elderly go, you know, hey, we're elder. Let's face it. You know, but all of these things are culminated in the elderly. That's worse in the elderly because elderly also. The biggest problem is isolation and loneliness.
1 minute. We got.
Isolation and loneliness. A hug is a big deal with the elderly. And so I would encourage people, if you've got somebody who's elder in your family, give them a big hug. The best thing you can do.
That's right.
It would make them feel better, and then you'll feel better about yourself as well. In other words, it's a two-way street.
And if these so-called boards or committees want to give the school department money, take it out of your pocket and give them that money. Never mind stealing it from the afflicted children, like Sawyer does.
So, well, it's very interesting to really get the down and dirty on what's going on in the town, though, you know? It really is. Oh, well.
There's one I ain't gonna mention till the next show.
That's good. Looks like we're just about done, Bob. It's been a pleasure being here. You know,
We're all
I've
set.
truly enjoyed
Thank
it.
you for being here, Dr. Clermont. It's been my pleasure and your pleasure. Hope to see you next time. Thank you again for being on the show.
Very good.
Very, very much. Thank you.